Story 6. Tricking the Lion. Tricking the Lion. Okay, check this out. This really happened.
Really?
Yeah, it was during a season when there was nothing, and I mean nothing, to eat. This sad, hungry wolf was resting. A she-wolf, in fact. On her own, with the pack broken up, the wolf worried not only about the lack of food, she was also harassed by another grave concern. But along comes this fox, okay? A he-fox, in fact.
Who's that?
Growls the wolf, droopy-eyed. The fox cautiously keeps his distance, ready to let his body take over and bolt like the wind if need be.
It's only a fox,
says the wolf gloomily, resting her head again.
That's right. Only a fox. That's all I am. You've nothing to fear.
He approaches, risking capture, while hoping for an opportunity to score some kind of snack. His brain is straining for an idea. His eyes are scanning for a scrap.
Only a fox. That's all. You got that right,
says the weary wolf.
You know, I'm better than you. Way better. But there's one who's better than you or I can ever be. It's a lion. A she, I think. I've seen her twice lately, encroaching on my hunting ground. There's nothing good here, so she'll be ravenous. If she catches me off my guard, I'm lunch meat. So you, lowly fox, you are the very least of my concerns.
Lunch meat,
thinks the fox, trembling, then salivating.
Lunch meat?
Clearly this wolf was not at her best. She was slow to blink, and slow to think.
Indeed, I am far from mighty,
says the fox.
But I am mighty grateful indeed for the information which you graciously share. I shall be on my guard against the lioness. Thank you kindly. I wish I could make it up to you. You look well, I must say, considering these hard times.
In speaking, the fox was actually stalling, trying to conceive of some way to gain advantage. What did the wolf possess? Let's see. There was some large chunks of bone in sight. The smell was tantalizing, but too hard for the jaws of a lowly fox to crush. There was a broken basket with some kind of juicy fruit spilling from it. That was very promising. The bones, now, those would be the leftovers of the human who brought the basket. But why had the wolf not devoured the juicy contents as well? The wolf was panting, reclined, weak. Not too weak, though, to make of the fox a nice mound of lunch meat. Okay, so with the wolf showing signs of summoning strength to risk a run at the fox does what came to mind and breaks into a lullaby.
Fair lady wolf, gracious long of limb, legs to die for, eyes that shineth, nose that smelleth.
It was a simpering, melodic tone he took, but maybe it would soothe or at least disarm.
Gracious lady wolf, that I be weaker than thou is clear, clear, clear. Whilst thou art weaker than the lady lion, we both fear, fear, fear. Oh, spare me do, fair princess of the plains, do not munch upon my brains. Spare me now, and I shall share the secret stash of bone and flesh the lioness conceals. Enough for several meals.
Whatever upon the earth are you talking about?
Says the lethargic wolf.
You know where to find a stash of meat?
The fox's brain is suddenly racing, and so is his heart muscle. Somehow his song, composed on the spot, was taken by the wolf as a reportage of fact. Secret stash of meat? Lion on the loose? it was merely a hunch, an idea that if there was a lion, then there must be a den or something, right? In that moment, the fox himself believes his own song, and he declares,
"There is, indeed, a secret stash of bone and flesh, and that which the vicious lioness conceals is enough for several wholesome meals."
The fox sniffs mightily and emotes satisfaction. The wolf, fascinated and lightheaded, copies the fox, also sniffing mightily, anticipating satisfaction. The fox says,
"I can smell it, almost, even from this distance."
I can smell it too, almost.
Says the wolf, sniffing again.
But what about the vicious lioness? She's guarding it, isn't she? You would need to overpower her first, before you could raid her stash. You would need the upper hand, which I don't have. I don't have the upper hand. Not within the wolf pack, and certainly not with the mighty lion.
The upper hand, ah yes, the upper hand,
muses the fox, savoring this tender, magical moment in which both he and the she-wolf were all calm and dreamlike, not tense or fearful, for once not gravely concerned. It felt like... but the fox could not quite figure out the feeling.
"I could show you how to gain the upper hand,"
promises the fox.
"It will be my way of saying thank you, since you told me there's a lion nearby."
The fox intensely hoped the wolf would not say, "Hey, how could you possibly know about the lion's food stash if you didn't know about the lion in the first place?" The fox talks fast.
"My gracious wolf, once you gain mastery over a lion, you can take what the lion possesses. You can do what you want. Slap its nose, tickle its toes, raid its stash."
Show me now,
says the wolf. Not aggressive, but rather compliant.
"I shall,"
says the fox, reveling in the trust bestowed upon him. It was a rare opportunity, obviously something to exploit immediately. So he says,
"First, lie on your back. Don't worry, it's all right. Trust me."
Why?
says the wolf, but as she says it, she rolls onto her back.
"It's like this,"
says the fox.
"and I learned this from watching human people. They well know the wolf is far better than the fox, and the lion is better than both, and mightier still than the human person. However, uppermost of all is the enchanter, who taps the might of a divinity. Such an enchanter has the uppermost hand."
You going to show me or not?
"Fine, if I must. Stretch your legs and paws upwards, like they are arms and hands, like you are summoning a divinity as a human enchanter."
The wolf complies, saying,
Hey, I see birds flying circles up there. Is a divinity higher up than they are?
Yep, you nailed it, my dear. You got that right,"
says the fox, not looking up, which would be creepy, since a circling of birds means something dies. But then again, something always dies for something else to live, right? It's only fair, in a way.
"Now press all four limbs together."
He says, getting a wee bit nervous.
"Good. Now I'll just put these sticks alongside for support, in case you get tired."
Thank you. So kind,
says the tired wolf as the fox sets some sticks beside her paws.
"Next we shall keep the sticks in place with, yes, this rope,"
says the fox, and he binds sticks to legs with a rope that must have belonged to the human lunch meat that was reduced to bone chunks. The fox can barely believe the wolf is falling for this trick. With the wolf unable to move, he practically swan dives for the basket, and he gorges on the plump, juicy fruit, which a human person might know as baby ruby red tomatoes.
Whatever upon the earth,
exclaims the wolf, She growls and wiggles and bites at the rope. It was a pretty good knot, I can tell you. She barks.
That type of berry is poisonous. My friends in the pack once told me that. That's why I never touched them. You're dead, you fool. Dead meat.
These?
Says the fox, licking dripping jowls.
Nope, nice try. These are baby tomatoes. I eat them whenever I can. Not poison, tasty. Now don't bother me. Eating, okay?
The wolf, enraged despite exhaustion, rolls, twists, and snaps. In a moment she will be free, and the fox will be lunch meat. The fox fears this to be so. Done eating, he backs away, bristling, eyes fixed on the wolf. In a moment he will turn and run for dear life.
Har, har.
The wolf barks. She glares at the lowly fox, saying,
The lioness is right behind you. You're dead, loser. While she eats you, I'll escape.
Now, the fox only gets as far as hearing, Har, har, the lioness is right. His body instantly takes over from his brains. He does not, for example, take time to process complex thoughts like, You know, this wolf is so gullible, believing everything you tell her, and like, those who are gullible are not good at pulling off survival tricks, or performing enchantments, or finding the cure for cancer, or composing songs, or making up lies. So if a weak and gullible wolf says, A lioness is right behind you, then you should bet your sweet life the threat is real. Yes, instead of the fox's brain processing such thoughts, the fox's body instantly coils like a spring. He nearly drops a turd. His weight slams down. He springs into the air, soars towards the grumbling wolf, passes over it, lands on the other side, nearly pukes ruby-red tomato juice. The fox bounces back up, dodging, weaving, full-on careening. He does not look back. He was out of there, man. Nothing, and I mean nothing, ate his brains that day.
What happened to the wolf?
As for the wolf, the second she was free of her bindings was 1 second too late for her. The lion she had hoped to trick was on her. Hungry as anything, the lioness rather enjoyed her lunch meat. Crows and vultures, they came on down, and rather enjoyed the scraps, as did various things that creep and crawl, and that's all, my friend, that's it, that's all.
Yeah, but what does the fox say?
You have just listened to Tricking the Lion, Story 6 of Fabulous Tales and Fables ASAP by Owen T Duggan, year 2017. And read by myself, the author, because let's face it, real readers are expensive.